The differences are dramatic. It's getting harder and harder to film these videos, but I still love being able to share all of my stories with you guys. So if you've not been to this channel before, my name is Jenna. I am a Canadian who's been living here since 2014 in Germany, and I love sharing with you guys all of my experiences and tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. But one thing that I've never talked about, don't ask me why, is going to the dentist and what it's like compared to going to the dentist in Canada. And I actually don't really know why I haven't talked about this because the differences are dramatic. Actually, I do know why I don't talk about it. Full disclaimer here, guys. I have been here for 8 years now, and I've probably only been to the dentist 2 or 3 times. German health insurance is amazing, so I would not suggest that you follow my lead on that one. There are actually perks to going to the dentist in Germany, which I will share with you in this video now. So how can something so simple as going to the dentist be so utterly different in 2 different countries? A lot of expats worry about the fact that, oh, you know, my German's not good enough that I'm not going to understand what they're talking about. Well, I have to tell you guys, most dentists here in Germany do speak English, which is great. Of course, in bigger cities, this is likely more common than in the smaller towns. If you need some links or tips on how to find an English-speaking dentist, well, I can include those down in the description below for you guys. But let's jump into the 5 biggest differences that I found between going to the dentist in Germany versus going to the dentist in North America. Okay, I'm just gonna share it right off the bat. The biggest culture shock for me was absolutely hands down the fact that upselling here is a really big thing. And that's not just at the dentist, but also at the doctor. So one of my biggest tips for you guys in this video is going to be always ask for a quote ahead of time as to how much a surgery is going to cost and make sure that it is covered under your insurance. Of course, you've got public and private insurance here too, which sometimes also makes a difference. There are actually quite a number of things that are covered under your public health insurance scheme for dentistry here in Germany, but there is also a lot that is not covered. For example, extensive cleanings, veneers, crowns, bridges, root canals, and teeth bleaching, which is of course cosmetic. If you want these things and if you want certain materials, well then it is actually going to cost you more money out of pocket. 9 times out of 10, the dentist will warn you that this is going to cost a little bit more money, but I have heard of the odd case of an expat or a foreigner here saying, I got totally screwed over because they charged me and I didn't realize that they were going to charge me. Legally, they're supposed to let you know. Maybe it got lost in translation. I'm not sure. Just make sure that you're asking. And like I mentioned, there is a big difference between being publicly insured and privately insured. If you want more information on that, I will include a link to one of my blog posts that should be able to give you some really good answers if you're deciding which one to go with right now. People typically say when you are privately insured, you get a little bit better care. That is true. Some dental offices actually don't even accept publicly insured clients. There are actually quite a number of perks if you are a privately insured person going to the dentist. You know how I mentioned crowns, veneers, and bridges being something that might not be included here in Germany? Well, when you're privately insured, these kind of things are covered. You'll also likely get better materials like composite fillings or ceramic crowns, dental implants, and the biggest thing for many people is that professional dental cleaning. So when you're publicly insured, you typically just get a quick checkup and a quick clean. When you are privately insured, this professional cleaning tends to last about an hour and they really clean your teeth. A good little tip, if you are publicly insured, guys, you can actually get like a Zusatzversicherung or an added on insurance where you can get this professional cleaning done too. That tends to be quite worth it as well. So number 3 would be that follow-up calls are actually quite rare here in Germany. Of course, it depends on whether your clinic is a large one or a small one. Maybe if it's a small family practice, they might have some more time to give you a call and check up on you and say, hey, how are you doing? You know, in Canada, I find this quite frequent. I find that a lot of practices are quite small and that you typically will get a follow-up call just asking how a certain procedure went and how they're feeling. In Germany, they might already in advance plan to have you in for a follow-up checkup, but the call itself is actually quite rare. Again, depending on the size of the practice, in Düsseldorf we have quite big clinics, so follow-up calls are very few and far between. Number 4, when I told you guys that there are actually perks to going to the dentist annually or biannually, it is true. You actually get rewarded sometimes for going to your appointments and getting those checkups. It shows the doctors, it shows the health insurance providers that you are doing your due diligence to make sure that you have a good bill of health. With my insurance provider, for example, if I can prove to them that I go to the dentist at least a couple times a year, they have a bonus program where I actually get points or even money sent to my bank account when I've actually gone and done my checkups. So I should really be going more often, shouldn't I? But another very important reason why these routine checkups are so key here in Germany is because if you don't go to them, you can actually run into some issues in the long run. So you have your basic cleanings, or you need to do basic filling and your basic checkups, but when something goes wrong, your health insurance can actually go through and say, well, you know, this happened because you didn't do these basic fillings or these teeth cleanings when you should have. And then they could actually not cover the costs of a procedure or a surgery that you might actually need. And the 5th point, I actually found this one really interesting. This is something that I haven't noticed because I haven't been to the dentist all that often, but it was my husband who mentioned it to me. And because my husband is actually a dentist here in Düsseldorf, he mentioned the biggest thing for him that is so interesting is that in North America, we are very, very quick to do x-rays, to use pain medication and laughing gas, to put people under when doing certain surgeries. Even though he works at a really big clinic, they are still not very pro pain medication if there's another way around it, which granted is actually much better for you. But I do know a lot of people in North America who just go straight to the pain medication or straight to being put under when they go through surgeries, because fact of the matter is, guys, not many people like dentists. So I think from these points, we can come to the conclusion that going to your checkups and brushing your teeth regularly is essential when living here in Germany. But I thought I'd spice it up today because my husband is a dentist and because we're actually going through some really complicated times with our toddler right now. We've been using like your classic toothbrush with him, which is boring, needless to say, I guess. So he went to the store and picked this out himself and was like, I want this electric toothbrush. And when you put it in his mouth though, the brush itself actually like pinches inside his mouth. And when he turns it on, the toothpaste goes everywhere and his spit goes everywhere and it's all over my face and it's just a mess. So we've been trying to find a solution here, and when Evowera reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try out their new Planck Mini, I originally thought, well, that makes no sense for the channel. And then it just like all kind of fell into one. We're having really big difficulties right now with my toddler. My husband's a dentist, so we talk about this quite often. And I've been meaning to share with you guys for a very long time these vast differences between Canada and Germany. So I thought I'd throw it in. Why not? It'll be fun. We can make it a family thing. So they sent us over 3 of their toothbrushes. We've got 2 adult boxes here and 1 for my toddler. So let's jump into it. We will go through a little unboxing and a little review of what we actually thought about their new Planck Mini, which was actually just released last month on the Amazon store. I will include that link down below for you if this is something that interests you guys. So the Planck Mini is actually manual, but it's smart. They basically created this toothbrush to allow kids and adults to have more fun and to develop better brushing habits. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this one for you guys right here. This is the one for children. I chose this sweet little green one, like a minty green for my son. They come with 2 bristle heads and your USB-C cable. If you don't know what the USB-C port looks like, I will show you here. It's this one. Of course, if you need them, they do come with instructions. Check. And then it's just a matter of popping it open, plugging it in, and giving it a charge. It actually only takes about 2 hours to charge, so it is quite quick, and the battery itself actually lasts about 40 days. So in order to turn on the brush, you just have to press the metal shaft in the front and release. The bristles themselves are super soft. You can also, of course, replace the brush head, and they've got this anti-dirt gap, so you can just pull the head off, clean off any residue that's there. It is entirely waterproof, as it should be when it's in the bathroom. The ergonomic handle is really, really easy to hold, not just in my hand, but also in my toddler's hand. The toothbrush handle itself actually has a built-in sensor that maps the teeth into 12 zones and detects any areas that might actually need a second brush. So for kids, if no spots are actually missed, they get this little virtual sticker for a job well done, which I think is kind of fun. They also have this feature which helps protect your gums with their pressure reminder, and that's a high precision detection sensor which monitors how lightly or how hard you brush your teeth. So the handle will actually vibrate and the screen will flash red to remind you to ease off the pressure. And of course, this is also extremely important for kids because proper pressure obviously prevents the gums from being damaged as well. If that wasn't enough, they also have a Wi-Fi connection where you can access all your teeth brushing reports in their Evowera NSO app. And perhaps it's even more important or more helpful for the parents who are actually starting to let their children brush their teeth on their own for the first time, which I would love to do. So as you can see, you've got this mini screen here. It contains tons of different info. It shows you your uncleaned areas of your teeth. You get your full brushing report. You can set different wallpapers to define your mood. And your kids can also send stickers and messages to their friends or family members via the NSO app to the toothbrush. And you can use this either to remind your kid to brush your teeth or send them some stickers to say good job. In terms of the look and the design of the toothbrush, the handle actually comes in 4 different colors. You can choose between white, green, pink, or blue. And their high density bristles also come in 4 different sizes. So you've got one for kids from the age of 3 to 5, 6 to 9, 9 and up, and then you've also got the adult bristles too. What do you think about your new toothbrush?
Good.
What was your favorite part?
Everything is sticker.
Would you brush your teeth with it again?
Yes.
I love you.
Love you.
And there you have it. I think for kids, this is a great solution. I didn't think the virtual stickers would make such a positive impact on my son's brushing, but he absolutely loved the challenge. So for adults, it's great if you're unsure about your brushing habits or you want to track your dental health. Though for us as a family, I think that we agreed that it was the Kids Planck Mini that we'd highly recommend to other parents. So I hope this helps and see you next time.